Hi, I'm Elaine. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is aimed at the beginners who are new to Stampin' Up and have never crafted before. So we're going to be looking at this beginner's brochure and looking at this bundle here, Just Simple Stamping. And these cards in this pack have got little cards which measure 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches. In metric, that's 10.8 by 8.3. And these are the card fronts, and these are the card blanks, right? And they have envelopes to match as well. They suggest a block D. There are 2 stamping spots to start you off, and also some adhesive. So that will come to $43.25. I didn't want to open the stamping spots because I've already got the full-size ink pads, so I use these instead. So with these card fronts, I've made some simple cards here. There's only 2 designs. Here's the reverse of it as well. So here's some examples with just some simple stamping, how you can make the cards up. That is the back of this. This is the back of that one. So there's some portrait and some landscape cards. They have envelopes to match as well. Now, having had a taster from making those cards, you might want to expand your repertoire into, say, a casual crafter. So you might want to get the full-size ink pads. You can get that as a bundle, so if you get 5 ink pads you get a slight discount. These are the 2020 to 2022 in colour ink pads, and you could get a pack of assorted coloured cardstock. These are also the in colour ones, and I think there are 20 sheets, so there's 4 each of each colour. Cinnamon Cider, Bumblebee, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight and Magenta Madness. I've shown you how with just some simple stamping you can get these little miniature cards stamped and sent. But if you want to take it a step further, you will need some basic tools which you'll find on the back of the brochure. This will mean you need a basic trimmer, and this is Stampin' Up's own brand. It has an extendable arm which extends to just over 17 inches, or in metric just over 43 centimeters, and it's got both metric and imperial measurements on it. The arm is in inches, in imperial, but if you work in centimeters, you can purchase a arm which is in metric. The trimmer has a scoring blade, which is this light grey one, as well as the blade cutter. And there are replacement blades for those. You need a good pair of scissors. They're called paper snips in Stampin' Up speak. It comes with a cap, and you can put that cap back on to protect the blades, or when you're travelling. You can substitute the Stamp and Seal for a packet of stamping dimensionals. These are foam pads that just raise your project up a little bit. A packet of mini glue dots, and of course a chamois, which you need to clean your stamps with in between using different colours. It's quite hard when it comes in a pack as new, and you need to moisten that with just plain water, and it's sort of lint free so it doesn't leave residue on your stamps. So with those basic tools you can take your stamping experience a step further. First, upgrade to the note cards and envelopes. These are slightly bigger. They measure 5 inches by 3.5 inches, and with the coloured cardstock and a pack of the designer series paper that you see here, buy some adhesive sheets, and then you can use the adhesive sheet to stick on the back of this paper so that it makes gluing everything down a lot easier. or you could just use glue if you wish. But the adhesive sheets are fantastic for gluing down delicate things without getting glue everywhere. So you see what you can do with coloured cardstock. You can cut strips. This is part of this strip here, and I've just used the leftover on that for this card here. You do need good investment to get a pack of this Whisper White A4 cardstock. These are specially pressed, and it's got a much smoother surface which absorbs the ink better and gives you a good impression. So I've stamped the flower here and then just fussy cut it, and there you've got another card. Or you could stamp straight on the cardstock and then as a background, and then glue the designer paper on top. So there's so many possibilities. That's using the paper to decorate your card with, as I've done here as well. Once you've got confidence to do a bit more, you might want to then invest in a die cutting machine, or if you're not ready for that yet, this stamp set also has a punch. So you could get the stamp set from the Flowers for Every Season suite, and this is the stamp set. This is true to size from the annual catalogue on page 12. There are 3 reversible stamps, so one side of the stamp is solid and the other side is textured, and then you could have a punch and expand your repertoire that way. In the suite there are also 10 cards in various colours, in the in colours, that you can do things with like that. So that's just from a punch. You can add to it with the Flowers for Every Season Memories and More card pack. There's 2 sticker sheets, one with sentiments, die cuts, labels, and they're 6x4 cards, 2 of each. That's the back and that's the front. It's really for journaling and memory keeping, but you could so easily use these as card fronts as well. So that's the back. And they're also 3x4 cards as well. Some have got sentiments on them. They're double-sided. Some of them are landscapes, some of them are portrait. And these will all go onto these assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes. So you can even buy a pack of plain card. It's all pre-cut and their envelopes can match. So there's 10 of each, 10 of these ones, and here's the cards that will go with it. So you see how easy it is to do. You can just put one of these on, glue it on, and you have a card. Just add a sentiment and that's done. And if you don't like that side, or if they're too precious, you've got 2 of each, so you have one to keep and one to make cards with to send. And here are the cards for the larger ones. Those are the envelopes to match, and they're slightly larger than the ordinary ones. So look, there's a card that's easy to do. It's already done. You don't have to do anything else. So just to illustrate, I'm going to use this one and the new Stamp and Seal adhesive. It runs really smoothly. Pop that in the card. Leave an even border all round. Just use a sticker sheet. Because it's a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to use a foam pad underneath as a cushion. Stamp on the Whisper White cardstock. You can start collecting some stamping blends. This is just jade in the in colour, and I'm going to use the bullet end because it's harder wearing. You can pick up some ink from your acrylic block, use the water painter, pick up some ink and just colour in your petals. You don't want it too wet because this is a wisp white cardstock and it doesn't tolerate water too much. And then squeeze it to wash it. While it's still wet, pop the cap back on. And then you want to fussy cut that, so put it at a 45-degree angle and you cut a thin sort of 1/8 of an inch border around your stamped image. And if you angle your scissors at a 45-degree angle, you move the paper rather than your scissors. So you see I'm sort of maneuvering the paper. Then you want to stick some foam pads on it. These are called dimensionals in Stampin' Up speak, and we'll just cut a narrow strip for the stem. Like so. That's how you can go from the very beginning to simple stamping to creating some slightly bigger cards with extra cardstock and some embellishments and designer series paper, to the memories and more card with a bit of stamping, or even investing in some punches and things. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and on how to add to your repertoire. So from simple stamping to creating some other layouts, using the designer series paper to further embellish your card, and then onto the memories and more with a bit of stamping and watercolouring. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back with more inspiration next time. Bye!